And the big breaking story at this point, after a major controversy broke out over the INB Ministry's move against journalists over fake news, now the Prime Minister has intervened in the matter. Prime Minister directed that the press release regarding fake news be withdrawn and that the matter should only be addressed by the Press Council of India. Now, it all started after yesterday, an unprecedented move. The INB Ministry announcing that journalists' accreditation can be suspended just on the accusation of fake news, and that they can lose their credentials permanently for a repeat offence, sparking massive outrage and raising questions about who defines fake news. Though Minister Smriti Irani defended the move, saying it would be the Press Council and Broadcasters Association who would decide on fake news. But others had hit out, saying that the blacklisting was immediate pending the probe. The Press Club had even called for an emergency meeting today. In fact, just minutes before the news of the Prime Minister intervening in the matter, Minister Smriti Irani seemed to reach out to the media, where she tweeted saying that many are reacting to this and it's a debate, and several journalists and organizations have reached out, and that the ministry is more than happy to engage with journalist body or organizations wanting to give suggestions. All right, well, let's go across to Srinivasan Jain for more. And Vasu, it really does seem the Prime Minister intervening in this matter. Just minutes before that, it seems Smriti Irani was climbing down and saying, you know, we can talk about this and I'm open to discussions over this fake news controversy. So a massive controversy, and you've had the Prime Minister stepping in.
Absolutely. This seems to be a classic case where the government has created a firestorm for itself and has now had to put it out. Now, there was simply no need or no clarity on why this order came in the first place. It came at 9 o'clock last night. It caught all of us in the media by surprise, essentially laying down guidelines by which journalists who are accredited to the Press Information Bureau may lose such accreditation if it's found that they are guilty of fake news. There were a number of reasons why this was problematic. Look, does the Indian media have a fake news problem? Yes, it does. Do we need to self-regulate? We do. Has self-regulation worked so far? No, it's not. And I think therein lies the core of the problem, but that's a separate conversation. I think the government coming in like this and coming up with this late-night order and then saying that essentially it's now going to be, the government essentially will receive complaints from anyone who's supposedly found guilty of fake news, and they will be suspended. Their PIB accreditation will be suspended till such time as the concerned regulatory body, whether it's the Press Council of India for newspapers or the NBA for TV, actually finds them guilty or not. This is something that everybody found ham-fisted. They saw this as yet another attempt by this government to try and check the freedom of the press. And I think the blowback was immediate, and I think that's why, Gargi, we are seeing the Prime Minister actually having to step in and say, look, this order needs to be withdrawn. And I believe that, you know, as we were sort of reporting this, the Press Information Bureau, Smriti Irani's ministry, has actually issued an order saying that last night's press release has been withdrawn.
All right, Vasu, there was also this emergency meeting called today at the Press Club of India. And, you know, we were speaking to journalists all morning and they were talking about this meeting and how they were going to discuss many of these issues there. And so do we know now what's going to come of that? Is there going to be a meeting at all?
Well, we'll have to check. We'll have to check with the Press Club whether they still want to go ahead, because obviously the entire provocation for having such a meeting, in a sense, has been removed now that this order has been withdrawn. I mean, were the Press Club of India and the Editors Guild and so on still want to meet to try to address the more sort of urgent question for us, which is of self-regulation? I think absolutely. But whether that happens today or not is something, Gargi, that we'll have to wait and see.